motion detect light?
Do what? Yes, it is a motion detect light. We're just streaming. It is indeed. Hello, everybody. I'm going to assume that you can hear me. If you can't, please let me know. Chuck is off deck today, so I'm running my own stream. If I can manage how to do this, we should be good to go. Though I'm not going to swear at anything. Can you hear me? How's it going, Cooperative Waffles? And a Wolf Alone, so you guys are already in the room. Hello back, good afternoon. Kadora, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you all good. Good deal. Then we're good, Willie. Losing my voice here a little bit. Yes, we hear your sorry ass. It is Chuck has wandered into the room for a few minutes. Chuck is off for the next week or so. I think he's packing his car right now or doing some such nonsense to head off. A bit wobbly voice, Cooper Waffles says. Chuck said I had a little bit of problem with the sound, but the mic is maxed out, so there's not too much we can do about it. There you go. Not too much I can do about it, I should say. But I am going to get a Dr. Pepper. How's it going, Bloodworth? Before we dive into today. It has been another interesting day at the Troll Dens. Always seems to be interesting days in the Troll Dens. But there you have it. For those just joining us, I am Steve Chenault, CEO of Troll Games. And we are here to do my weekly Ask Me Anything, which is ask whatever questions you have about, I don't know, Kickstarters, backer kit campaigns, products we make, print shop, the land, industry news. I almost got caught up on some industry news in the last week, so I even have a little bit of that information to sling around. But now I can't remember what I was reading. What was I reading? Oh, the whole diamond fiasco. Is it skipping for anyone else? Let me see if I can adjust my mic volume a little bit. That might be my voice, Coop. I got whatever, I don't know. Been talking too much. The new printer is in. It's installed, assembled. We ran off our first test product today on the printer. Official training won't happen for about 3 weeks, but I think the tech who set it up gave us enough to dive in tomorrow. So we may actually be making books tomorrow. Savage Splendor says, how many ticks did you have to go to get in the field during the walkthrough tour? None that I know of. I didn't see any ticks, but little red bugs are always a problem around here too, and those usually don't materialize for a couple of days. But that was that last Friday that we did it? I think that was Friday. So we should be in the clear. It's going to be, I've not been in the mountains very much this year. I haven't been up St. Davis very much this summer. And the little place I own up on the river it was flooded, so it was destroyed. So we haven't actually been stomping around in the wilderness where the ticks are real bad. Down here it's normally mosquitoes. But I am going up to Davis's this weekend, so almost a guarantee to collect my fair share of ticks. Yeah, Jeremy, the red bugs are the worst of all. Question, hey, can I play a skull in high elf multi-class? No. The Adventures backpack is not going to be set up where you can play the race classes, the elf, the dwarf, as multi-classing. Those you're just going to have to dive in and do yourself. Peter Ravenchild art here is Peter Bradley. That's our resident artist, and he has been just chewing the adventure as he's laying it out. I think you're on Thief. Is that right, Peter? He's been hitting me up with a non-stop stream of character combination ideas to flesh out his various anime concepts. Redbugs, I used to get a kick out of tourists playing with Spanish moss. They'll learn the hard way. Yeah, redbugs are the worst. And if I remember correctly, you get the redbug, it bites you, it dies, and then about 2 days later you start itching. If I remember that, I think that's how redbugs go. So by the time you're scratching, by the time you already feel it, they're long gone, and you're in just misery for the next 4 or 5 days. How's it going, David North? I will have new art for you very soon. I'm going to dump all of the art and files for the Exaltum book on Peter tomorrow, so he can begin laying that book out. And then I think, now that the printer's set up, we'll launch the backer kit campaign that's going to allow us all to kind of get together and buy bricks and trees and whatnot. And then And last, I shall return to the Codex of the Plains. Hey, when old class combo is too ridiculous for me, you know. Yeah, there you go. My brother's a world-renowned microbiologist in the study of Lyme disease. Hope you didn't get it, but if you do, call me. I will do that, Bloodworth. I've not gotten it yet. I've had many ticks over the years. Just evil little bastard. Just evil little bastards. And I don't even worry. I just leave the head in, whatever. Just pull the creature and move on. New art, I'd be ready. I'm so excited to see the books. I am too. We did a final pass on the Infernum. Chuck has asked me, somewhere around here I have his notes, to clarify 3 things, which I'll do, and then I got to go in and kind of reset some of the pages that got moved in the editing process. And then that book's print ready. Yeah, so Infernum should be print ready, and I'm hoping that Exaltum Peter can get it laid out. It's not as involved as the Infernum book, but the art isn't as organized. So I got to go in and organize the art, or I just might let Peter do that, whatever Peter wants me to do there. So I'm hoping by Friday, Monday, Tuesday, that book is ready for the final passes, which we will definitely do. Yeah, Chuck, I'm glad you liked it. Chuck did the final pass on Infernum. He finished it this morning. I'm just super jazzed about both of them. Super jazzed to finally be getting these things wrapped up. I'd like them to the printers in the next few weeks. It's going to get dicey for me as I head off to Comic-Con next week to meet up with some folks and do a panel on Gary Gygax, and then the week after that I'm off to Gen Con, so it's going to get kind of dicey, but hopefully the moment I can step back from Gen Con, we've got the Adventurers Backpack, the Codex Infernum, and the Codex Exaltum all ready to go to the printers. Send those things to the printers and get that done. We're going to send Gods and Legends any day now. I just got to get and delete a little bit. So we will see a nice kind of, I don't know, flood of new products in the next few months. Excellent, Jeremy. Excellent. Con season is in. Yes, it is beginning, without a doubt. I can't wait for them to get all the TLGs. Yeah, me either. I'm actually ready for all of these projects to get done. We'll see the release of the starter set, the official release of the starter set tomorrow. Then I don't think we have any new releases for 2 weeks as we siphon through Comic-Con and Gen Con. And then after that, we pick back up with Crusader 28, I think. I can't remember now. Somewhere in there. How far has Dakota gotten with the starter set pre-orders? He has all of the special ones have shipped. We will recommence that. We were interrupted in the last 2 days with the new install of the Rico 7500. This is a gigantic machine that does all kinds of crazy stuff. It's very automated. It's going to speed things up, but they told us that training would be in about 3 weeks, which doesn't do us any good. Well, it does in 3 weeks, I suppose. 3 weeks from everywhere, a geographical oddity. But the guy that was out today finishing up the installation of it, he knows how to run the machine, so he started training Dakota on it. Dakota started asking questions. So I think we'll start printing books on that machine tomorrow, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's see, Crusader Tonight is next. I got my starter set yesterday. Excellent. So yeah, we should get, I think there's just 200 left on the pre-orders. We should get the bulk of those out this week by close out on Friday. And then the remnants of them will be gone out next week. So everyone should have their pre-ordered stuff gone and gone. I missed the starter set Brexit will be available. Yes, it will be KevCon. The starter set will be up tomorrow, I believe. I think we just got to go in and activate it. And then it's good to go. We will activate it about the time that we launch the backer kit campaign for the building, for the bricks and all of that stuff. And there goes the tech. He's heading that now. It's just all kinds of moving stuff that I'm ready for it to kind of be a little bit on its own, so that it can quit spilling into everybody's workspace. But I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Chuck. I know it was well over 500, so out the gate it did fantastic. It's done very well. It's being well received. I've seen pictures everywhere. We're very jazzed on it. So the starter set coming to a store near you soon. Wish I had pre-ordered it. It's coming. Yeah, we'll get it all up. Just turn it on and it's good to go. Yeah, very good. All the way around, things are doing very well. This isn't huge news that we're publicizing because it doesn't matter, and we don't want you guys to feel like compelled to do it. But we've already had to reprint the Monsters and Treasures from the first Reforged, and we're in the process of reprinting the Castle Keeper's Guide from the first Reforged. So this means that these books sold out, what normally takes 2 years to sell out, sold out in 6 months or so. So that's all. It's all very, very good news all the way around. We've got good news. We just hope to keep going, and I think that once the printer's fully operational going, that'll actually speed things up even more. This thing has a production time of twice as fast as our previous machine. It's not going to break down as much because it doesn't get beat up like it does. I was looking at the color quality is better, so color books will be even better. We probably will start doing our own covers pretty soon. We outsource covers because of the UV side of things. So that machine's going to start speeding things up. We're still in some kind of paperwork hell with this commercial loan. I don't know who in the federal government is in charge of commercial loans, but they need to just retire and let this stuff ease up, because it's been well past a month, if not 2 months, probably close to 2 months now that we've been wrestling with this thing. And they're still saying another couple of weeks before we can even clear the money up to begin the build, which is just really, it's driving us all down here a little bit insane. PDFs of the starter set Death Angel should be out soon. I turned all those over to Chuck today. I'm not sure if he's going to get those out tonight before he hits the road, but in the next couple of days he'll give me instructions on how to do it from his vacation. I think he's going to Bora Bora. They're laying out on the beach the whole time, drinking Mai Tais and all of that stuff. Or we'll have them out in about 10 minutes, Chuck says. So there you go, even better. Even better, I don't have to deal with it. Twitch is stuttering, yet YouTube is smooth as a baby's backside. There you go. I don't know what's going on. I don't think he's really going to Bora Bora, but we're going to imagine him he is. And Chuck, you need to send us some pictures of you stretched out on the beach. Either getting eaten by a shark or dead in a boat. Free Fire is a fun module, by the way. I'll probably run it for my players this fall. Excellent, Savage. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Davis and I had a blast writing that thing. We wrote that thing very fast, and Jason Walton knocked that cover out real quick. And the whole thing is just about fighting until you break free, which is cool. I can't wait to see them all nice and printed. We need to get you one, Jeremy. Tahiti, it's a magical place. There you go. Peter Bradley is headed off to Haiti on his vacation, I suppose. I lived in Hawaii for 3 years, 2.5 years, 3 years. I'm good on the Pacific Rim. It was not. It's beautiful. The sun is beautiful. The skies are so blue, unimaginable. The weather's good. Humidity's nice. But I think I'm done on the Pacific Rim. Well, I can recommend some beaches in Florida if you really want a shark encounter. Now, Florida, I like Florida. There's something about the heat. The heat down there is ludicrous. The sun is ludicrous too. I've been to Florida a bit, and I lived in Hawaii. The sun in Florida, for whatever reason, it's just meaner. It's harsher. It'll cook you much faster than Hawaii did. Of course, maybe I was tan when I got to Hawaii. Who knows? I grew up there. I'm long over Florida. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to live in Florida. I'm pretty happy in Arkansas. I got to tell you, it's great weather. It's hot, it's humid, it doesn't bother me a bit. I don't have to put snow tires on my truck, which makes me happy. So, yeah, I'm pretty, and I got lots of wildlife, which is a good thing. Now I am picturing Chuck as Magnum PI. There you go. We need a Chuck as Magnum PI. Try the sun here in Colorado. It's ruthless. I can only imagine, especially when you get high up. What is the mountain, the volcano in Hawaii on the Big Island? I hiked up that mountain with some friends of mine. We didn't get to the crater or any of that mess at the top, but that sun up at that elevation is pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. The sun here is gone for the next 2 weeks. I'm happy to not be in pain. Using an element of Dwarven Glory in the hills west of Greenland. Excellent. I love Dwarven Glory. It's one of my favorite things that I wrote. It's got 3 or 4 short little adventures. Stuff that you can cram into an evening's play, which I love. Those cool Pacific waters are much more agreeable than the warm shallow Gulf. Hawaii is so different than Florida. It's nuts. And I will say this, the only place I got caught up in an absolute gigantic wave of jellyfish was down in Florida. And little bitty things. You absolutely could not see them. And Tim and Kenneth, y'all remember Tim? He used to work at TLG, good friend of mine. Kenneth and I went to Florida for a week. And I remember we went out into the water, and I think Tim got stung first. And we retreated back out of the water. And then we waited a few minutes and we go back in. Then I got stung. We go back out. Then Kenneth got stung. Then I got stung again. And I think the 5th time we got stung, we finally said, "All right, let's go back to the house," because those things are miserably painful, miserably painful. And jellyfish are so cool, functionally immortal, regularly generating new tissue. Let me tell you, so one of the weirdest encounters I've ever had, I didn't see it, so I'm not going to swear to it, but I'm pretty sure it's a Portuguese man of war. We're down at the beach. My son, Pete, was 6 or 7. I don't know what. I was swimming next to him on a boogie board. He was on a boogie board. And the boogie board shoots up. He shouts in pain, looks at me, and then he goes underwater. Now, I thought a shark had bit him. I thought a shark, because there's sharks just beyond the shoals. I thought a shark had gotten him and pulled him under. So I dove into the water to get him, and as I'm diving in, he's coming back out, and he's got his hand thrashing about. I grab a hold of him, figuring that he's lost his foot, that the shark bit his foot off, and took it and started drag him up onto the beach. Now, I didn't see what stung him, but he's 24, he's 23, I don't know how old he is. He's in his 20s now, so this was 15, 16 years ago, whatever it was. And you can look on his arm, he's got tendrils all the way down his arm, scar tissue to this day, not tissue, but scars to this day from where what I think was a man of war got a hold of him and wrapped, because they have multiple tentacles, right? A jellyfish generally just has the one long thing. And it just chewed him to pieces. He got to the beach, and he's got a pretty stout pain tolerance. He got to the beach. I think he made it halfway across the beach before he threw up from the pain. Because that shit, I've had just a tiny, tiny, tiny jellyfish sting me. That, whatever got him, it was a mess. It was a mess. So, yeah. Stinger's favorite food is Steve Irwin. Yeah, sadly. I remember when good old Steve, Crocodile Man, got. I was actually coming back from Gen Con, I believe, when the news of that broke. Gen Con or Origins. It was like dark 30, and we were in the middle of Tennessee, driving through Tennessee when I listened to the radio and the news broke. It's crazy. They have really long arms, float on the surface, and basically use the long limbs as a net for filter feeding. I think that, like I said, I didn't see it, but I mean, there's so many tendril marks. I figured that was going on. It's crazy. I knew a guy in high school who got hit by a man of war while we were all down there. It was weird too, because the funniest thing, there's nothing you can do for it. There's jellyfish sting, stuff, chemical, there's nothing. The poison's in you. It's fast acting. It just hurts, right? It's just pain. And I remember that night, we got him, whatever, ibuprofen or some shit. Nothing was working. Vinegar, yeah, we had bought this. There's some kind of chemical you can buy. It had no effect. And the only thing that he found that would work is hot water. So he got in the shower, and he just ran the hot water on his arm for just forever until I think eventually the hot water in the rental we were in ran out, because it was like an Airbnb. It was one of those beach house things. But I remember at one point, so the rest of us were watching TV while he was suffering, and I was kind of standing in the doorway to check on him to see if he would, whatever. And at one point I heard thump, 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 and I went and I just picked around the shower, because Pete never liked to be messed with when he was in pain or sick or any of that bullshit. But when I looked at him, he was punching he was punching the bathtub, and he would go, "Why? Whoa, you stop hurting." It was funny, not funny, but it was really funny. I wish I could have caught it on film. He was so mad, because it just doesn't. I mean, there's nothing you can do. And then suddenly, what's weird, when I got stung, I can't speak for him, but when I got stung, it's suddenly you're in this excruciating pain, and then you're not, and then you're like, it's over. Oh, I forgot I got stung. It's just the weirdest shit. It's just weird. And here's me only had the excitement of being shot point blank range in the face with a musket plus the hot sword. The ocean is an interesting place. There was an episode of Friends that brought that through. Oh yeah, the peeing on, didn't Monica pee on Chandler, or Chandler pee on Monica, or something like that? That was a great episode. That whole beach thing it's a good show, Death Angel. It's a good show, I gotta say. If you want classic 90s television, Friends on the one side and Northern Exposure on the other, that'll capture the 90s for you. Chandler Pete on Monica, and the X-Files. You gotta throw the X-Files in. Chandler Pete on Monica. There you go. I grew up 5 miles away from the beach in San Diego. So, I don't know much about California beaches. I've been to beaches in Florida and Maine and Oregon and Hawaii. That's about it, I think. Um, but I've been to a beach in Los Angeles, but I'm literally walked down to the beach. Are there lots of jellyfish and that kind of crap in the California beaches? There really wasn't anything like that up in Oregon. We went whale watching. I don't remember, there were seals and stuff like that. But Florida just seems to have sharks and stingrays and jellyfish and all kinds of just nastiness be bobbing around in that water. The pain holds on until it's done with you. No, yeah, that's just it. Cooperative walls, that's just it. See, I don't know. I need to. Aren't I going? Yeah, I'm going to California next week. For God's sake, I don't think I'm going to have time. I don't even know where San Diego is. Is San Diego on the beach? I have no idea. I've never been to Comic-Con. I've been to LA and I've been to San Francisco, but I've never been anywhere. I drove through California back in '93, I think, or some such. Never was when I went to. I think they have great whites out in the California area. It never was when I went out to the beach. You could bike there easy. It was all downhill going back home. Was rough, I can imagine. Yeah, Greg, it's got to be the warmer waters. We lived about half an hour from SeaWorld. Oh, there you go. I'm a little more than into sci-fi, so Stargate, blah, blah, blah. You know, I never watched... Stargate I watched. I remember Stargate. The movie was really good. Babylon 5, I never watched Babylon 5. Looks good. I don't know why I never watched it. I think there's a whole period... There was a long period. I didn't have an actual television. From... When did I move out? In 1986... I didn't have a TV until trying to remember my apartments. I'm trying to put them in my head. We had a television, but we wouldn't pay cable. I don't think I had a television all through the late 80s. And in the 90s, I joined the Army. Surely we had a TV in 91, 92. And then I was in Fayetteville. So I got a TV in the mid-90s. Yeah, I got it. So I'm not sure when Babylon 5 was, but I got a TV in the mid-90s. Is when I was able to afford to watch television. If it wasn't Betamax. I had a bunch of Betamax my dad had made from when that thing came out. Babylon 5 was so great. Deep Space Nine had to steal from B5 to make DC9 survive. I never watched DC9 either. Deep Space Nine. I watched... There was a show called it was one season. It was about these fighter pilots fighting some aliens. What was that? I know you guys have seen it. Space Above and Beyond. That's it. Yes, Juan Cholo. Space Above was that was to me as good as Firefly. Firefly and Space Above and Beyond were fantastic TV shows that should have been renewed. Absolutely. And whoever was in charge of not renewing those two TV shows is an idiot. I'll say that. I don't like to criticize people for their artistic choices, but that individual, or the two separate individuals, or the group, think tank, whatever, a bunch of idiots. That Firefly still has... Very few people know Space Above and Beyond, but Firefly still has. It clearly resonated with people. I mean, it's crazy how much that TV show resonated with people. And I think it really starts, the theme song itself, when it talks about freedom in space and all that stuff, it kind of appeals. Even in the theme song itself, it appeals to that nature, I think, that all of us have at some degree, to go beyond and be free of the prime directive or the force or whatever, just to go out there and cut your own rug in space or wherever it may be. Have you listened to, let's see, have you listened to, I have. We've listened to quite a few of those Area 52 podcasts. Is that, if that's what you're referring to, my wife and I listened to them driving up and down the mountain. It really was, Greg. It really was. You would be amazed how many stars from other sci-fi shows guest star in B5. Oh, no, that's interesting. If you find yourself up in Oregon sometime in the future, be sure to stop by the Newport Cafe in Newport. Great food, great cooking, seafood caught fresh that morning. Cassiopeia, so I bebopped around in Oregon for about three to 5 weeks. I can't remember. It was a long time. It was in the 90s. Mostly in and around Eugene, between Eugene and the coast. And I will say this, Oregon has the record for the largest pancake I've ever been served at a restaurant. It was some little bitty diner up in the mountains. There was loggers all over the place. And so I ordered a couple of pancakes, eggs, and bacon. And I swear to God, that pancake was so huge. It was two of them. It was so gigantic. I remember that to this day. It's absolutely crazy. Oregon is a ridiculously beautiful state. Absolutely beautiful. But I'll have to check out Newport for sure. Let's see. Any more questions that I'm missing here? Chuck's not here today to keep me up on the questions, so I will try to keep them as they come in. What is the series with the Mars government, Earth governor, and asteroid belts? Expanse. Expanse, Waffles. That is another fantastic TV show. Now, I know I've watched the first 4 seasons, but I think there's 6 seasons. I'm not going to swear to that, but I think there's 6 seasons on that. I haven't watched the latest stuff, but The Expanse was, Davis is a huge fan of that TV show. That probably is closest to what the colonization of the solar system is going to be like. It probably would be my guess. Because it kind of grounds it. It doesn't, there's no warp drive or stuff like that, which may come in the future. Who knows what's going to happen in the future. But they have some way of moving a little bit faster, but they're still, space travel slow. I guess something their drill instructor was Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. When he's in a movie, you know you're on a good show. Yep, there you go. That reminded me of Bill Paxton for some reason. What is that Tom Cruise movie with Bill Paxton as the sergeant? Time, he like repeats over and over again. It's great. It's a great TV show. Expanse will have Stargates. See, I do remember some kind of Stargate in the last few episodes that I watched, but I can't remember. Live, Die, and Repeat. Yeah, what was that show called? Was it Live, Die, and Repeat? I can't remember. Edge of Tomorrow. That was it. 100. Expansive. Need to rewatch it. Yeah, I'm like you. I need to catch up with it. That might be something to start over. I just finished. What the hell did we just finish? I don't know. I just finished something. Whatever I was watching, I just finished it. It clearly didn't keep me very. Speaking of Bill Paxton, I watched Near Dark this past weekend for the first time since the mid-'80s. Is that the one where he's a fireman going to St. Louis looking for the gold? Because that is a great movie. You finished your background. We did finish your background, yes. The Adventurer's Backpack, and we're deep into layout on that. So maybe, no, it was Kingdom of Heaven. No, it wasn't. That's a movie. The Last Kingdom. Something like that. I don't know. No, Near Dark is about sad drug-addled vampires. I don't know that I've seen that. Maybe I have. I probably have. I watched most of stuff that came out in the 80s via Blockbuster. I didn't have a TV, but I did have a, Todd and I had a VCR, so we would rent 5 or 6 movies on a weekend. I'd sit down and watch that crap. There you go, Greg. It's very, very 1980s, yeah. Twin Peaks was a really good show. I gotta say, I love Twin Peaks. Absolutely love it. Matt Golden, who co-created Castles and Crusades, he was just in Twin Peaks like 2 weeks ago. Huge fan of that. He went out there. The movie, I had a little bit of trouble with the movie because it's really kind of focused on Laura, and there's no good ending to that story for her. So the movie had a little bit of trouble to getting through. I do remember the 1980s War of the Worlds, but I didn't see a TV series. That's interesting. So the 80s too are weird for me. So in the 70s, let's walk through my ridiculous TV journey. As a kid, we only had the 3 channels. I remember when WGN out of Chicago became a thing, so we had 4 channels. And this is going to be the late 70s. And somewhere in that mix, we had HBO. HBO had been out for about a year when we moved to Germany. Now, when we moved to Germany, my dad is in service. When we moved to Germany, we only had one TV station. ATV? ANTV? ARTV? I can't remember what this TV station is. But, so we got, there was just one. So all of this stuff that was going on between 80 and 83, we didn't get any of it. I think Three's Company was show. I can't remember what it was. It was pretty. It's pretty lucky. Now, when we got back to the States in 83, 82, 80, I think it was 83, my dad got cable, so we got this giant cable box with all these little levers on it. And then suddenly we had television. So I had television until I went to college in 85, and then I didn't have TV again. So I had like 2 years of TV. So I missed most of the television that came out in the 1980s, which is kind of weird to think about it. Though we did watch VHS and whatnot. Saw Superman this weekend. The film was simply delightful. Felt like reading the back half of an 8-issue arc of some silver. Oh, that's good to hear. I've heard very good and very bad reviews about it. So I don't know what to... I'm a huge Superman nut. I love Superman. So I don't know what to make of it. I was born in '83. There you go, Greg Rich. Yeah, I was struggling. I was struggling with. No, we had TV in '83. So when you were born, it was a good year. '83 was a good year. Did they rename it back to the original title on Blu-ray? It was for Greg. My son saw it and loved it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to see it or not. I want to see Ballerina. I want to see Mission Impossible, and I think I've already missed both of those because I don't think either did or Mission did, but I don't think Ballerina did very good at the thing about it is balancedly optimistic. I imagine you would enjoy it in that regard. Probably would. I do get a little bit. It's probably my only, as I go in DM John, my only real complaint on Batman is they lean so heavy into the dark aspects of his, whatever, the loss of his parents and all of this other stuff. That it's just, it's cool a little bit, but after an hour or so, or 3 hours, I'm kind of done. Kind of done with it. Television, yeah, I saw that once at Johnson's place years ago. I Know Lucy Pops On, yeah, that was all I saw. So many great TV shows during the 80s. That's why. And see, that's a cool thing about it, A Wolf Alone. The idea behind it is very cool, but after they did it in 6 movies, and he never gets better. He never gets over it. And at a certain point, I don't know, just put it behind you and laugh a little. And that's why I hate to say this. I hate to sound like that guy, but my favorite Batman movie still is the original Batman movie with Jack Nicholson playing the Joker, and Michael Keaton playing, because he gives Batman that kind of dark aspect, but he's also got this kind of wily, sarcastic sense of humor about him that I like. Because I always like Michael Keaton, so that helps. Let's see, Steve, does that mean you missed out on Airwolf, Knight Rider, A-Team, and all? I did. I missed out on all of those shows. I remember watching a little bit of Knight Rider, but I would hear about like the A-Team and Airwolf, but I didn't see it. Todd had TV, so he'd be talking about this stuff. When I went to college, I lived with my dad and mom for like first semester, and then I moved in my own apartment. At that point, I was done with cable. I didn't have it, so until Todd, I think maybe we had it for. I lived with Todd for about 6 months. Maybe he and I did. Yeah, I missed all of that stuff, KevCon. It's kind of sad, and I missed a good chunk of the X-Files too when it originally aired. Not until '93, '4, about '94, I think I get regular TV. Is Airwolf Prinkle to Airbud? There you go. Okay, man. Maybe that's the original one. I mean the 80s one or 70s. I don't know when that thing came out. 80s, surely. The Justice League cartoons. Good stuff. 1989? Really? Holy shit, I wouldn't have put it that late. Wow. When did Ghostbusters come out? That would have been 84, 85. Yeah, I guess that's right. I guess it did come out when I was in college. All that starts to blend together after a while. 84 for Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is one of my favorite all-time movies. Yep, I was just back from my freshman year when it came out. There you go. I loved Airwolf as a kid and revisited as an adult. It did not. I did that with, I think it was News Radio. I think that's a 90s TV show, and I really liked News Radio. I remember loving it, watching it, tried to revisit it, and I couldn't. It's actually got Joe Rogan in it, I think. I couldn't get into it. Watch your top 3 X-Files episodes. Wow, KevCon, that's a hard one. I love the alien ones, but I really love it when Scully is sarcastic with Mulder. Those are some of my. They're not really so much the tongue-in-cheek ones, but like one of my favorite episodes. It's with the roaches. Is it? Yeah, I think it's like government experimented roaches, or now I can't remember, but she's on vacation and he goes up to investigate this weird death or something. I can't remember. So most of their interactions are via the telephone, Scully and Mulder. And at one point, I can't remember what he says. Something about witchcraft and maybe merging 2 episodes. I think I'm merging 2 episodes. He says something about witchcraft, and she rattles off some answer that that comes from his perspective, and he's like, "Will you marry me, Scully?" I think those episodes are absolutely my favorite when those two kind of interact. I absolutely love it. I've been rewatching the whole series. I'm in season 3, I think, right now. Just good stuff. Really, all the way through. I don't really care for him so much when Mulder leaves because the chemistry is gone. But Gillian Anderson, how do you say her name, is one of the best actresses, period, out there. So pretty much she can still keep my attention. She's just really, she's been fantastic in just anything that she does. And Mulder, Fox Mulder, I can't remember his name. David Duchovny is as well. Ghostbusters is much funnier after running a small. Yeah. Yeah, that would be about right. I don't know what it is about Ghostbusters. It's back in those days I had zero money, but I went to that movie twice. I drove out there twice and watched that movie twice, which was for me. I didn't even see Star Wars twice. Ghostbusters was just something else. I named Mulder. Yeah, is that the one, Malaki? That's absolutely, yeah, because is that the one where he says, marry me? Because there's some kind of witchcraft is tied up into that. I can't remember. But those are absolutely my favorite episodes. I enjoyed the redo on the seasons 10 and 11. They were pretty good, but they were nothing like the original. Because I think the X-Files suffers from, I don't want to say being on TV too long, because that's not fair. But I do think that Chris Carter got his stories kind of, it became very confusing. So it was. Isn't that the one where he tells Scully to get in the kitchen and make? Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's just those two. It's their chemistry. When I'm watching a TV show or a movie, chemistry can take me a long way. I don't really care what the TV show's about. I just watch the people interacting with one another. A good example of that, Castle, the TV show with Nathan Fillion in it. He and I can't remember her name. Kate. I can't remember her name. He and the lead actress, Beckett, they've got really good chemistry. So the TV show is really just kind of your basic cop, solve the issue, whatever. But those two together have absolutely fantastic chemistry. It's like the original Star Trek, the three knuckleheads. Their chemistry between Bones, Spock, and Kirk. I can't remember their names right now. Shatner, Leonard Nimoy. I can't remember. They just have fantastic chemistry. X-Files suffered from not actually coming to any conclusion. Yeah, it really didn't. And then the one thing that you wanted concluded, and I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but Mulder's daughter, the story arc ends really in an annoying way. Questions: are there any plans for developing aerial combat rules for either TLG or Amazing Adventure? Seems like I would have to plug in AD&D air combat rules in order to develop an aerial campaign. Any current siege engine adaptations for aerial combat? So in the Castle Keeper's Guide has a section on aerial combat. It's actually got aerial maneuvers and whatnot, but this is for monsters and not for ships and whatnot. The first time you're going to run into aerial combat, published and out, is going to be in. There's a little bit in Amazing Adventures, but it's going to be in the Barsoom books. That we'll see progress on very, very soon, because the rest of this stuff is now behind us and we can focus on that. So we will take those, probably somehow integrate them into the CKG2 or somewhere along the lines. I always like the one-shot Monster of the Week episodes of X-Files rather than the ones I like them both. I like the story arc because I love the alien stuff. I love the whole UFO thing. So I love it, and I love what they did. The pacing in the show is fantastic because you'll get one or two aliens, and then we got a couple of monsters, and then we go back to the aliens, which is really, really, really cool. It is mind-jarring to me that the guy who plays Skinner is the same guy who plays a skinhead in Sons of Anarchy, so that's always a little bit mind-jarring when I see him. Yeah, Castle Saturn, those two hated each other. Yeah, I've heard that, and I've done a ton of research, and I can't find that anywhere other than one production assistant said it in the closing season. That what's her name was upset, but yeah, I'm not sure that's the case. I think they dated for a little while. I suspect that from what I've gathered on Castle, because I got curious about it, her contract, the show was losing ratings rapidly, so they were cutting costs, and they were going to cut her out of the show. And I suspect they have to keep him. So there's a whole thing, and I suspect that's where, if there was any blood, it came from that mess. And black and red rains are the most common, but they're also in blah, blah, blah. Reported cases of blue, purple, and green rain. Scully, Purple Rain, Mulder, yeah, great album. I'm not sure that's references to. I missed part of the conversation. I also like the one with the teacher lab that there are Satan worshippers. There's the chicken one in Arkansas. That one's kind of cool. And in that Star Trek cast, it's like each other. Some of them did, but I don't think they did then. I think so much of this stuff comes out later, after a show is over. Certainly there's on-screen. So a perfect example of this, I was watching an interview with Scully and Mulder, who seem to be the absolute best of friends, and she said that she makes a comment that, you know, we used to fight on set all the time. And Mulder's like, what are you talking about? Mulder didn't remember that. And then she starts talking. She's just funny, sexually into jokes with him and all this shit. But I don't doubt that when you get people that all have this job to do, and it's all riding on these two people to do their job properly. When things get delayed or messed up or whatever, I think Scully mentioned her hair was always wet because they were in Canada and it was humidity. It's a great interview. You should really go watch interviews with these two. The idea is that these people are fighting when they were actually just working together, and it's difficult to not get angry with people when you're working with them all day and things aren't going the way you want. So DeForest Kelly, there you go. I suspect that's what most of this behind the scenes, you know, going at each other. And then there's when salaries get involved and one person's getting paid more than another person for about the same amount of screen time. It probably causes all kinds of other issues. Spell question: how does permanency work with spells like protection from missiles and invisibility? When you do something that ends the effect, like attacking ends invisibility or lack, yeah, it ends it. It ends it. Permanency cannot can't override that so that you're forever invisible. Yeah, you're done. The one Mulder tells her to get in the kitchen is the one with the two teenage witches. The rest of this stuff's finally getting through. Good evening, trolls. How's it going? Portulus, Mulder's sister, not his daughter. Yeah, his sister. Yeah. Did I say his daughter? I don't think he had a daughter. Wait, does he have a daughter? He got a kid. I can't remember now. It's too much. Joust was a great game. It was just too expensive for a new Fox to try to keep going on, and they never handled it right. What is that? That's 2 something. All right. Let's see if I missed some questions. Working behind the scenes and film and TV shows, you see a lot more. Some of the very strong factors. Many of them. Yeah, that's the thing. And I think the company's open to reprising his role as Mulder. I think. You know that the guy that the Liver King, whatever they see the name, I see Toons. Oh yeah, that's one where he kind of like he turns into he can crawl through the sewer or whatever the vents. Is that right? I have heard I saw her in an interview where she wasn't. 2 years ago she was like adamant, we're not doing this again. She did not say she would not do it again. So I think if the script were right and the timing were right for her, she's very, very busy. I think she might do it. She's all over the place. She's doing all kinds of stuff. I think she's doing a play right now. She just a book last year, and then she's part of that Catherine the Great for a little bit. She's just all over the place. I'm going to teach you, Stephen, to say my name at Gary Con next year, provided I get in front. Excellent. I won't remember it, but I will try. Follow-up spell question. Yeah, Tomes is the guy who can stretch out. Yeah, there you go. Follow-up spell question. Why is invisibility listed under permanencyable spells, given that it already has a duration of permanent and still ends if you attack? I don't know. I'd have to dig into that donkey juice and look to see why that's there. Probably because, I don't know. I'd have to look. It's probably an SRD layover. Hell, we got Buffy the Vampire Slayer coming back. I have heard that's coming back as well. I never finished the series. Kathy and I watched maybe half of it. But so I need to circle back around and wrap that series up. I remember now what I was doing. I was watching The Last Kingdom so that I could watch the movie, and now I'm finished with the TV show. I'm going to watch the movie either tonight or tomorrow night. I'm not sure when. Well, that's a little, I reckon. There you go. There's going to be an X-Files Lego set. Nice. X-Files just had, for me, and even in those days, I couldn't watch it all the time because I didn't have the TV for a good chunk of it. But it just has chemistry, and it touches on that stuff that, I don't know, that we all, right? We all want there to be something beyond. Maybe we all don't, but most of us want there to be something. Whether you believe it or not, that's a different discussion. But we want there to be something beyond checkbooks and bank registers and, taxes and mortgage payments and whatever. I think the funniest comments on the internet I see is when someone puts up, I saw it this morning, a comet's going to strike the earth and whatever, and there's no way we can stop it. And everyone in the comments was like, thank God, I don't have to pay my taxes anymore. Good, finally it's over. This stuff, it's just funny stuff. I cannot see the YouTube chat, Rick Loveday. Let me see if I can. Chuck is usually on top of all of this, watching all this goobly goop so that I don't miss anything. I see there's YouTube. And there I am. Just funny. Mute me. There. I've never lost my fascination with I don't know if I can read two chats simultaneously. Okay. All right. Did I? I can see it now. And maybe he posted it over here. It was an accident. I do keep huge favor. Look at Friday Night Tights. Friday Night Tights? I'm not sure what that is. I think I'm going to have to check it out now, though. That looks like something I do. Twitch chat was showing you on YouTube. Oh, there you go. You're not alone. Have a habit of playing them all the time. So, they help with fundraisers. There you go. All right, so I'm going to close that because that's breaking my brain out. That's shutting my brain down. That's no good. So, got a few more minutes. If you have any questions, throw them out here. We spent most of this show talking about TV shows and movies, which I absolutely love TV shows, and I absolutely love movies. I love to read, but I really enjoy sitting down in front of a good TV show, especially when it's well written and all kind of put together. All of that stuff is fantastic. But I do want to say real quick, tomorrow at 10 a.m. we're going to launch the building. We're partnering with Becker Kit to allow everybody who wants to kind of join in and get their name permanently attached to the building we're building to do so. So look for that announcement around 10 a.m. give or take. I think we're going to do some pre-stream stuff, something like that. You can follow the page. Yeah, Chuck just put the follow up, so you can follow that link and follow the page there. And we will be releasing the starter set tomorrow. Last week we released Free Fire Zone, an amazing adventure written by Davis and I. That is one bundle of mayhem for your characters. What else is going on? Chuck's on vacation, so he won't be here Friday, but we will try to do the Thursday stream. I'm going to try to run it. We'll see how that goes. It usually goes poorly if I have more than one person on here, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe we'll get Jeremy involved. How come every first package arrived here in Canada with an over 50 pounds parcel tag? I know it was heavy, but it wasn't heavy. Dude, Jeb, I have no idea. Nothing should have been marked 50 pounds. Good God, that's like 15 players' handbooks, I think, to be 50 pounds. I don't know. Did they charge you extra for it? Alan, how's it going? Yeah, we're fixing to wind down in about 2 minutes. Let's see. 10 Central, who allowed Chuck to go? He snuck it up on me. He didn't. He told me months ago, and he's been warning me about every 2 weeks to remember it. So Chuck will be off into the wilds, doing whatever Chucks do in the wild. And we'll keep shouldering on. The nice thing is that everything, but kind of things are just in a pre-order. Let's get the pre-orders out the gate. Got to go to Comic-Con. Got to go to Gen Con. So it's all good. Yeah, you and me both, Jeremy. I think I had one back about 7 years ago. Not charged extra, just a gripe. When did the pickup? Yeah, I have no idea, Jeb. It's just all. It's nuts. It's just nuts to me. What kind of trouble is this watching? Yeah. Do Chuck Wood on vacation. There you go. There's a man who never takes vacation. Peter Bradley, I don't think he's ever taken a vacation. All right, on that happy note, I'm going to wander off, find some grub. It seems some mac and cheese and a hamburger steaks in my near future. And then we will see what tomorrow holds. Wait, Chuck saying wait. All right, Chuck, I think you want me to wait. I'm not real sure on that, but I will wait for a moment. Let me see how that sign-up page is doing. 711 people. Do we have a raffle? I don't normally do a raffle on mine. Yeah, what are we waiting for, Chuck? Are you texting me? Because I don't have that open either. I've just closed everything. We're at down as Chuck wants you to wait. Yeah, I think so. No one is in charge of live. Oh, good God. Thank you, Juan, for showing up. Yeah, Chuck, it is time to eat. Yeah, waffles. I wish that were the case. Peter, no. Chuck had something going on. Yeah, why are we all sitting here? Everybody wants to go to dinner, and we're all waiting for Chuck to figure out what he's doing. Didn't I tell you to go on vacation? Didn't I tell you to get out of here? What are you doing here? Why are we waiting for you? Please check on Friday. Friday Night Tights. All right, I'll check it out, Rick. I will check it out. I have had dinner now. Just waiting. Yeah, now we're all just waiting on Chuck. Chuck, you got about 30 seconds. Almost time for Kitty's eating wet food. We got to end soon, or I may die. Watch Superman. Do I need to watch it in the movies? Is it one of those, Jeremy, that I need to watch at the movie theater, or can I watch it on my TV? That's the question. Is that an adventure waiting on Chuck? Yeah. All right, I'll watch it, and I'll check it out. And I got to check. It was shot in IMAX. Oh, interesting. We are releasing the new starter set for Castle Grace tomorrow, and the PDFs are ready for everyone that pre-ordered. You get them for free. Check your emails. Yes, if you pre-ordered the starter set, you will get the PDF for free. So check your emails on how to download that. That'll be going out now or in the next hour or so, and then the product itself will be up on the store tomorrow. Watching the big screen you can. Some of us already got their email. To be honest, I'm burnt out on Super. I am too, Greg. I am done with them. I might go to Superman because it's DC and all of that business, but I have not. Man, it's too much. It's too much. All right, Chuck is now finished, and people are getting the emails. Excellent. But yeah, I know, man. We're gonna slow it down after this next mess. All right, everybody, take it easy. I'm gonna go get some dinner. We will see you probably Thursday night or afternoon. All right, take it easy, everybody. Store Greg.